What if everything you knew about Indigenous history was only half the story for centuries? Indigenous communities have fought for their rights, land, and identity today. Their battle continues. Stay with us to uncover the truth. For generations, Indigenous peoples have fought for justice, sovereignty, and respect. Their struggle is far from over. When European settlers arrived, they took more than just land, sought to erase Indigenous identity. Hundreds of treaties were signed between Indigenous nations and the EU, and most were ignored or broken. Indigenous children were taken from their families, forced into schools where their language and culture were stripped away. In the 1960s and 70s, Indigenous activists took a stand, occupying Alcatraz and fighting for their rights. From Worcester v. Georgia to United States v. TSU Nation, Indigenous communities have fought and won. In courtrooms, sacred lands are still under threat. From pipelines to mining, Indigenous communities continue to resist exploitation, despite centuries of oppression. Indigenous languages, traditions, and ceremonies are being revived. Healthcare, education, and economic struggles remain major barriers. But Indigenous activists continue to fight for justice. Indigenous resilience is stronger than ever. Support, learn, and stand in solidarity. Culture is strength. Preserving traditions means preserving identity and history. Fighting for land is fighting for the future. Indigenous people stand strong in the face of destruction. Art speaks when words fail. Indigenous crafts carry generations of wisdom. And identity. Indigenous voices are shaping the future, ensuring justice and equality for their people. The wisdom of the past guides the path forward. Indigenous youth carried the legacy of their ancestors. The battles have changed, but the fight remains the same. Justice for Indigenous people is long overdue. Protecting the land is protecting the future. Indigenous knowledge is key to saving our planet. Land is identity. Reclaiming it means restoring dignity and justice. Indigenous people are still here. The fight isn't over. Stand up. Speak out and support India.